As News 18 recently reported, when your stolen items are sold to a pawn shop, Indiana law protects the pawn shop. Victims are asking state lawmakers to reconsider that law. Pawn shops worry that that would hurt business.
Law enforcement says pawn shops work with them to help catch criminals. State Representative Sheila Klinker sheds light on what she thinks lawmakers should consider. News 18's Kayla Sullivan has the story.
Ramsey's Emporium has been in business for almost 27 years.
We're the oldest licensed pawnbroker in Lafayette.
He says the root of his success is honest business.
If they're selling it, we try to be fair with them as to the amount that we're giving them for it. When we go to sell it, we try to be fair.
Ramsey says these faceless figurines aren't something he would normally purchase, but when a customer is in a bind, he does his best to try to help. That includes when people come in and find out his pawn shop has their stolen items.
We'll just hold it back until the police process it, until the court takes care of it.
But Indiana law doesn't require Ramsey to hold it.
Once the pawn shop purchases the property in good faith, then it's theirs.
State Representative Sheila Klinker says something should be done about that.
Well, maybe we ought to be looking at some type of legislation that allows a person, if they know that it's been stolen, they find it at the pawn shop, maybe the dealers can't allow them to certainly buy it at cost or maybe at a lower price.
TIPPECANOE County Sheriff Barry Richards says people have to understand both sides to the story.
Licensed pawnbrokers, they are in a business themselves. They have families to be concerned with, and they have their lives, and they're doing everything that possibly they can to run a legitimate business.
In fact, many pawn shops in Tippecanoe County work with law enforcement to catch criminals who bring in stolen items.
We've caught quite a few over the years.
Sheriff Barry encourages business with licensed pawn shops over non-licensed retailers.
When you go onto Craigslist or some other entity that has really no restrictions or accountability and confirmation of what you're dealing with or who you're dealing with, that's very hard for law enforcement to use as a tool or a resource.
Representative Sheila Klinker says she will look into pawn shop laws very carefully, but she doesn't want to hurt pawn shops in the process.
We want to be very careful when we do this legislation to make sure that it's fair for everyone.
Because although pawn shops try to avoid buying stolen items,
we catch some situations, but we can't catch them all.
Kayla Sullivan, News 18.